Hello everyone! Today we answer the age-old question, am I the butthole? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel because I really want to get to 120 subscribers as soon as possible. Am I the butthole for refusing to reevaluate my relationship to appease my sister? I have been with my husband Adam for 14 years. Adam has a 15-year-old from a previous relationship, and we've got 2 children who are 8 and 2. My sister, who is 19, recently moved in with me. She's doing an apprenticeship and my house is closer. My sister has always been the happiest person I know. She has ADHD, which my husband equates to her carefree nature. I wouldn't know. But it's like the moment my husband is home, she's an entirely different person. She's on edge, she's stressed and snappy, and she's never like that. My husband has made a few comments that he hopes she's not like that at work, and she's too old to be acting like a teenage still. My husband has autism, and there has been a few moments that do make me cringe, like when my sister gets home from shopping, he'll ask what she got him, where his hug is, and there has been a few instances of him eating her food or accidentally taking some of her money if she leaves it next to her bag. He's just impulsive. I have explained my sister should understand that he's impulsive. He apologized, saying he didn't realize it would be a big deal because they're family. I don't think these few instances warrant my sister being so tense. She's been complaining of recurring migraines, and I know she's been having them, as my stepdaughter tells me she hears my sister crying at night. My friends have said that I really need to reevaluate my relationship with my husband if I even like my sister. But the thing is, my sister hasn't even complained. These are just things that I've noticed, and I tend to overthink things. I spoke to her and she said she'd never involve herself in my relationship like that. My friends do believe I'm the butthole, my mother is on my side, but my father isn't. But he's never liked Adam. Am I the butthole? Yes, I think you are the butthole because you have to be sensitive on what is going on in your house. Am I the butthole for thinking my wife's discipline is too harsh? My wife and I have 4 kids. 13-year-old twins, 8-year-old and 4 months old. She had a postpartum depression with our last baby, and she often struggled in a sense of her not being able to turn her brain off. She's getting better, but she's still snappy at times. I currently work 12-hour overnight shifts 5 days a week, and she works 20 hours a week from home. Due to this, she has the kids constantly, and she's very, very touched out. Ever since she gave birth, our older 3 kids have been over the top clingy and seem to be reverting back to toddler stage. Like our daughter, one of the 13-year-old twins, earlier asked my wife how to plug in the microwave, or all of a sudden my 8-year-old is asking his mother to help him find clothes or tie his shoes for him again. It's a desperate cry for attention. We are all in therapy, both individual and family therapy, and the therapist is helping us work through it, but it seems to be getting worse. Like, we cannot even plan a family outing without the 3 older kids either gripping onto their mother or walking so close in front and behind her that they are tripping her and refuse to watch out when told. So it has absolutely been heck. But like I said, we are trying to work through this with therapy. Well, 2 weeks ago, my wife implicated a rule that no one was allowed to talk to her when she had her headphones in or when she's taking a shower. As I'm sure you guessed already, the kids were even bugging her endlessly during those times, and my wife stated she needs an effing break and silence and for people to stop hanging off her arm. She even snapped the other day in saying, "Can none of you do anything for yourselves? No? Why don't I wipe your butts for you too while I'm at it?" Because our 13-year-old son asked her where his cup was instead of moving the coffee pot to look for himself, and then asked her at the same time to make him mac and cheese, despite knowing how, because yours tastes better. She was in the middle of feeding the baby, so she snapped. Anyways, now no one is allowed to bug her under any circumstances when she's showering or when she has headphones in. maybe once a week for the headphones, showering every other day for maybe 10 minutes. So it's not a huge ask. Anyways, I get a text from my son earlier saying Mom is grounding us and taking our stuff away for a week. And then zero response. I go home about an hour later and my wife is livid. All the kids' electronics are piled on the counter and all the kids are in their bedrooms with the door shut. I asked what happened and she said she went to take a shower and the kids came in 5 times in a 10-minute period, so she grounded them from everything for a week and sent them to their rooms. I feel she's being too harsh because I know they just want her attention. Now she's pissed at me for making her feel bad for needing an effing minute to herself. Am I the butthole? Yes, you are. Go talk to your wife. She is a saint. Am I the butthole for prioritizing a friend over my pregnant wife? My wife and I got married last summer. She's currently 7 months pregnant with our first child. She had an appointment with her OBGYN 2 weeks ago to address some complications with the pregnancy. The doctor was not overly concerned and confirmed that both my wife and the baby are healthy. But they did recommend her starting her maternity leave early and taking as much bed rest as possible. A few days after that appointment, my best friend's fiancé passed away in a car accident. My friend Brian and I have been friends since we were 3. We lived on the same street growing up. He was a groomsman in my wedding and he asked me to be one for him as well. Their wedding was supposed to be this summer. Brian and I live about an hour away from each other now, so we don't see each other as often. Usually, only a few times a year on special occasions. But as soon as I got the news about his fiancée, I immediately drove to be with him. I've been juggling helping Brian with everything I can while also taking care of my wife and everything she needs. On top of that, I am still working full-time. I've driven to Brian's house a few nights after work just to hang out with him and spent one night there last weekend to help him with some things. His fiancée's funeral is scheduled for the next week, so I've been helping him with that as much as I can as well. A couple nights ago, I told my wife that I planned on driving down to Brian's one night this week just to hang out and keep him company. This started an argument between us because my wife feels like I am prioritizing Brian too much and neglecting her. She said that she needs me at home to help her because she doesn't want to go against doctor's orders and try to do too much. She told me that her and the baby need to be my number 1 priority right now, not Brian. I told her that I am trying to juggle everything and I understand she needs my help, but Brian is at the lowest point in his life and I need to be there for him. She told me I don't need to be there for him. I am making a choice to be there for him instead of being at home taking care of her needs. I told her I am just trying to get Brian through the funeral and then I will make sure that I am more attentive to things at home. She told me that Brian has other friends and family that can be there for him and that I am spending too much time with him. She said that the health of her and the baby should be more important to me than anything else right now, including Brian, and that she needs me at home as much as possible. I told her she was being unreasonable and that I am not going to abandon my best friend in his darkest days. She's now giving me the silent treatment unless she needs something from me. If I try to talk with her, she will make a comment about me talking to Brian instead, since he's more important to me. I understand she's stressed and hormonal, but she's never been this outright mean about anything. Am I wrong here? Yes. Imagine being on the latest stages of pregnancy and then your husband disappears. Lovely. Am I the butthole for not helping to defend my group project partner against our professor who wants to fail her for not contributing? I am in a computer science course for college on operating systems. I was assigned this random group project partner and we were working on a project for most of the semester. We had decided to organize the project in a way that she would do core parts and I would do plug-in modules that depend on her core. However, since she did her parts in a convoluted way, it was hard for me to understand it, and when I couldn't get it to work, she had to do them as well. We got into an argument and she claimed it wasn't convoluted. I then paid a tutor who advised me and said he could help, but that the project would be easier to do in Rust, she agreed to redo the project in Rust if I converted everything we had so far myself, and she'd help out with the last part. We got permission from the prof to do it in Rust instead. The tutor then helped me convert her code to Rust, which counted as my part. However, when it finally came to doing the last part, she said she had no time to work with me on it, as she did not know Rust well enough and had some play competition the weekend of the deadline. She offered to finish it in the C++ version, but I told her it's okay. I then got it done with the help of the tutor and submitted the project. Since the Rust code was all written by me, in the statement of contribution, I had to state that I did all the code and she contributed to the design process and report. However, the professor took that as her not contributing, as only the code is actually graded, and decided to give her a 0 on the project, which would lead to her failing the class as it is 70% of the grade. She now wants me to come talk to the professor with her and is upset at me for refusing. The way I see it, it is not really my problem, and I want to face any trouble, as she did already tell the professor that she had done the older C++ code we didn't submit. Am I the butthole here? She's pretty upset at me and seems to blame me when it is the professor's decision. All the comments are saying that the OP is a butthole, but I don't think so. Because he gave the girl every chance to contribute, and it's not like he did anything behind her back. So I say not a butthole. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time!